Hello, dear students. Hope you all are safe at home. Today, we will continue with our same chapter, chapter number 6 of History, the Mughal Empire 1. In the last video, as I told you, that Akbar was a great administrator and its administration was divided into two parts, central administration and provincial administration. Central administration we already did in our earlier video. Today we will start with the provincial government. Provincial administration.
Provincial administration. In this vast empire was divided into 15 provinces or subas. Provinces or subas was one and the same thing. And the governor or subedar was placed in charge of each province. There was the in charge of each province that was called as governor or subedar, who was the leader of both military and civil affairs. And the Diwan kept the records of land revenues. Diwan kept the records of land revenues, and the Diwan and Subedar kept a close watch on. Means they were watching each other's work. And these provinces were further subdivided into districts or sarkars. They were called as districts or sarkars, which were further subdivided into small units of administration called as prangans. And each of these units had a team of government officials managing their affairs and reporting to the corresponding officials at the level immediately above them. Means each of these units had a team of government officials. They had their own team of officials, government officials. They did their own affairs and reported to their own corresponding officials, means to their own officials. And the villages were looked after by the panchayats. Akbar wanted to establish a uniform coinage throughout his empire. Means he wanted to establish a same coinage system for the whole empire. So he introduced a new uniform standard of coinage, but he kept in his mind that the older coins which were still current, means which were still using, should be accepted from peasants, from means farmers, for the full face value, means for the original value. So this shows Akbar wanted to have a strict justice along with safeguarding the interest of the peasants. Means he wanted to upgrade his nation also, but also safeguarding the interest of the peasants. He introduced silver, copper and gold coins with an open minting system in which anyone willing to pay the minting charges could bring metal and get the coin minted. So, and he introduced so many coins like silver, copper, and gold with an open minting system. That open minting system means anyone who was willing to have their own coins, they just bring metal and pay the minting charges and get the coin minted. Uniform weights and measures. Before Akbar's reign, a reign means period of rule. So means before the period of this Akbar, weights and measure system varied from region to region and commodity to commodity. Means there is a variation from place to place, and from commodity means things. So there was variation from region to from place to place and from things to things. So the weights were based on the weights of various seeds, means when they were measuring weights on the basis of take various seeds, and the lengths were based on the length of arms and widths of fingers, means अपनी ही arms और fingers को use करके they were measuring the lengths. But Akbar adopted barley corn for the weight, and he used the proper method of measurement. For linear measurement, he introduced the Ilahi Gaz, which was called as yard. Revenue system. Akbar adopted the basic structure of Sher Shah's revenue system, which continued till 1585. It means he adopted the same structure as that of the Sher Shah Suri's time, and it continued till 1585. And with the help of his revenue minister Todermal,
he introduced some important land reform system which was known as Todermal's Bandobast or settlement, and it was also known as Japti or Dehchala system. In that, first land was surveyed and then it was measured, and this land was classified into four categories, or on the basis of regularly cultivated or and occasionally cultivated. I will explain you with an example. Foliage was the land which was cultivated every year and never to be left fallow. Fallow means khali chhodna. So it was the land which was cultivated for the whole year and never to be left fallow. Whereas that paroti, or you can call it parati also, so it was the land which had to be left fallow for a time and to enable it to recover its fertility. Means this was the land kept out of cultivation temporarily in order to recover its lost fertility. And the third one is chachar. It was a kind of land allowed to lie fallow for 3 or 4 years and then resumed under cultivation. Means first one is for never to be left fallow, second one for few time, for a little time you can say, then the third one for 3 or 4 years, and the last one was the banjar. It was the worst kind of land that was left out of cultivation for more than 5 years. So this was the classification of land. And land was measured. There was a proper way of measuring the land also. It was measured with the bamboo jarib, and how it was made? It was made with the help of iron rings. Means bamboo jarib joined together with the iron rings instead of the earlier method which was used as the hemp rope. And there was the proper way of measurement also. The average produce and the average price over 10 years was calculated, and whatever the production, one third of the produce was the king's share, and it could be paid in cash or kind, but the cash was preference. And there was the special instructions to the revenue officers to treat the peasants well, and there was also facilities, like you can say, if the crops failed due to any natural reason like drought or flood, the state of remission of revenue. Remission means you can say that there is the relaxation in revenue, means they no need to pay the revenue. So, and there were the facility for loans could be paid back in easy install. There was the facility for loans for the peasants, for the farmers, and to buy seeds, kettles, and implements. Implements means tools, and they can could pay these loans in easy installments. Trade was the another source of revenue, but it was less in comparison to land. And the main components of export were spices, indigo. Indigo means the dark blue dye obtained from the indigo plant, textile, and saltpeter. Saltpeter was the substance used as fertilizers in cultivation. And India traded with China, Central Asia, and Europe. And in Akbar's period, the Portuguese established trade centers, means business centers on the western coast. So this is all about the provincial administration of Akbar. Hope you enjoyed this session. Read the pages from your books or from the PDF. Thank you and have a nice day.